Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Life Unboxed blog show, where we talk about all things momtrepreneur, from raising your kids to running a business and the most important, keeping your sanity. If you are enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. I would love to hear your questions that you just can't seem to get answered. Today, I'm going to show you step by step how to add a blog post when you are using the Divi Builder template. Now, if you don't have Divi, I will add a link into the comments below. Feel free to check it out. I highly recommend it if you're ready to start your blog or your business website. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we are going to do is, this is the website we are updating. And this is a live website. I've actually created this for a client, and actually this video is how to update this particular website or add posts to this particular website. So I just want to kind of go through and explain some of the components of the website. So as we start adding posts, you can understand what's being updated. So right here we have what's called a post slider. Now this is set for 3 posts. And it's set for your 3 most recent posts. So you don't have to do anything with this. When you add a post, it will automatically update. So as you can see, we have 3 posts here. Okay, so as I said, as you add a new post, it will automatically pull that in to update this slider. Down here, we have all of our categories so that the reader can navigate the website. So these won't change. They are static. So they stay unless you go in and you physically make changes to them. Same with this. This is static as well. Okay, up here, this is our menu bar. So we have the same categories down here. The reason we have this is so that people can continue to navigate through the blog without having to go back to the home page every time. So this is also a template. So this won't change either unless you physically change it. Down here, any place that has these categories and recent posts and archives, this will update automatically as well. So just keep that in mind, that you don't have to physically update these. These will do it themselves. Okay, so let's get started on adding a post. So now we are going to go into our WordPress admin dashboard. So we will log in. Okay, and what I want to show you first is where those templates are that we had talked about. So in the Divi Builder, you're going to find all of our website templates. So we have the global header and global footer. So those go across all the pages on the website. So here's the post template. So you can see we've created it using dynamic content. And basically what dynamic content is, it's saying from your post titles, we'll always pull it in from the post title here. We will always pull in the author, date, and category. So we will set all this stuff up as in our post section of the website. So stick with me here. I'm going to show you how to do all of that. This image is our featured image. So this will be on every post. This is just a little page break here. And then we have the post content. So your H1 heading is going to look like this when you set that in your blog post. As you create that, it'll give, and if you want to add H1 headings, this is what it'll look like. The rest of your headings, so H2, H3, 4, and 5 will look like this. This is what your comment section will look like for every post, and you'll have related posts at the bottom. And this is set to pull in posts from the same category for that page. So this will update automatically as well. So you don't have to touch that on the page. Okay, so that is the Divi theme builder. So now let's talk about pages and posts real quick so you understand the differences. So pages, these are all the static pages. So your home page, contact page, and about page. So these will not update from that template that I just showed you. If you want to update these, you would have to physically go in and make changes to that page. We don't want to restore. So here's the about page. Okay, so now we are going into posts. And let's just check out all posts. Okay, so let's add a new post. So these are the 3 that are currently here. And as you can see, they're all published. So now we want to add new. Okay, so this is very important. In order for the template to be applied to your post, you need to use the default builder right here, or the default editor. If you use the Divi builder, you will override the template. And we don't want to do that. You may at some point, but to keep things simple and easy, hit default editor. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is add a title. Okay, and so this is called No Fear of COVID. Okay, so that is our title. And we are going to add our text. Now when you add text, you want to make sure that it's plain text. So if you've typed something up in Word, you either want to save it as a text file in Word, and you can do that. The file extension is called TXT, or you want to copy and paste it into a text editor like Notepad, which will strip away all formatting. Because if you copy and paste the formatting into your website, it'll apply that formatting sometimes as opposed to the formatting you've set up on the website. So you want to make sure it's plain text so that it'll use the formatting we've already established for this website. Okay, so we've copied our text and now we will paste. Okay, so this is just one long block of text. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our paragraph break into them. And so let's just see where those paragraphs are. Okay, so here's paragraph. So as you can see, this is Gutenberg. The WordPress editor here is called Gutenberg, and it uses blocks. So once we've put in our paragraph breaks, it'll make it a new block, which makes it easier to shift things around, and you can edit that particular block and it won't affect the rest of your post. Okay, and always when you're writing a blog or actually writing anything, you want to try and do small paragraphs, because people scan websites as opposed to reading them word for word. So you want to make it easy for them to scan. So I would also recommend putting subheadings in somewhere in here, and we'll add those after we get this all formatted. All right, so now that we have added all of our paragraphs, we want to go ahead and make these change these to a list. So we want to use our bullet points here. So that automatically changed, and you can see it just changed this block. It didn't change anything else because we are just editing this particular block. So we want to make this one a list as well. and this one. So let's finish making these all a list. Okay, so we have changed these blocks to lists. Okay, so now we want to add a heading to this, and we're going to add an H2 heading. Google likes to understand hierarchy in a post or in any content you write for the web. So this one, because it is kind of further down in the post, we are going to call it H2. So we're going to add a block, and here's our heading block, and we're going to call this verses for the heart. Okay, and so we will just leave that one. So now I want to show you how to add an image. If you wanted to add an image, now this is not our featured image. This is an image that we will just add to the text. We'll add it inside the blog post. So we will add it here, and you're going to come and select image, and we will select the image from our media library. So, or you can upload it or link it, but we already have images in the media library. So we are just going to choose an image here, and we'll choose the bird. It looks cute. Okay, so you can size it, change the size. So we're going to make it a little bit smaller, and you can also decide how you want it aligned with your text. So you can align right, which I kind of like when the text wraps around it like that, align left, or centered to how we had it. But I kind of like it aligned right. Okay, and you can also, if you want to add a link to it, you would do that here. So now that we have our text in the blog post, we have added an image that we want to put in the blog post. I am going to show you how to add a hyperlink. So a hyperlink is when you link to either another page on your website, or you link to a website outside of your particular website. If there's an article and you're talking about it and you're saying, hey, check this out, you would add a hyperlink. And if you're going to do affiliate sales or anything like that, those would also be hyperlinked. So I don't have a particular hyperlink I'm going to use, so I'm just going to pick some text here. Okay, we're going to just highlight it, click the link. Okay, we're going to copy it in, and as it says, press enter to add this link. Now, if they're staying on your page or on your website, so you're just linking to another page, I wouldn't worry about opening another tab. But if you're linking outside of your own website, click this link, because then it's going to open the new website in a new tab. So what that means is they won't leave your website, which sometimes that can be annoying. If you just wanted to, hey, let me check out this link, and you completely leave the website, and then you have to go back to find where you were. So this will allow your reader to just open the website in a new tab and leave your website open on their computer as well. So we'll just hit enter, or we'll click that, or you can hit enter. Okay, so now you'll see it's going to highlight this text here where we added the hyperlink. All right, so let's talk about the sidebar. So we are editing in blocks. So that's why you have this tab here that says block. So you can change your text size here. You can add your custom text, drop caps, change the font color, add some CSS, but since we build websites without CSS, we won't be using that. And let's come back to the document. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. We have visibility, public, so when we publish it, we want it to be public. So we have publish immediately, or if you would like to change the date or time when it gets published, you just change that. Standard format, yep. Okay, stick to the top of the blog. I would just leave these unchecked. because we're using a template, because we're using so many automatic features with Divi, I wouldn't cause a conflict with that, between Divi and your post. So I would just leave those unchecked because it will automatically post, as the most recent. So at the very top in all of the modules and the post sliders, it will automatically post it. So just leave that alone. You can choose your author. So as long as there is a profile on your website, you can choose who you want to write this, and we'll just keep it as Seabird. Okay, Yoast SEO. If you want to dive into the rabbit hole of SEO, there are some videos that I will recommend and I will link to in the description, and it'll help you take you step by step on how to set this up. Okay, categories. This is very important. So you remember those category blocks from the home page. So this is where those categories get set. And so we want to set this one in the Parlor. So what will happen is for that category that is linked to the block, this will now show up in that space. So we want to make sure to set the category, and don't use uncategorized because nobody will be able to find your post then. Tags. Now tags, you can add as many tags as you want. Basically, this helps to index your website. So if somebody is going to search on your website, the tags will help them find what they want. So you can use it or you don't need to use it. It's totally up to you. Okay, so now our featured image. We want to select this, and we're going to select it from the media library. And we're going to pick the little doggy staring out the window. Okay, so now your featured image is selected. Okay, very important to mention about the image size. You want it to be 1280 pixels horizontal and then 720 pixels vertically. Because if it gets too big, I will show you once we're done with this what happens when it gets longer than that 720 pixels. Okay, so Excerpt. Now all of the summaries will pull automatically the first 160 characters. I believe that's what we've set it to. That can be changed too. From the first few lines, from the first paragraph here. So the description will start with these first few sentences. If you want to write something different, then you would put that here. So you can do it either way. If you want to write something that's a little more descriptive as opposed to, the first paragraph that people may not get a good description of what this post is about, have at it. Okay, discussion. Allow comments. Sure. I'm going to keep that. Divi page settings. Let's close that up here. Just leave this because we've formatted our own template. You don't need to worry about any of this. So now we are going to preview it. Are you ready? Okay, so this is what a posted blog post looks like. Okay, so there's a little puppy. This is your featured image. Okay. So you can see what it'll look like. Here's what the image that we added in the text. Here's our hyperlink. So if we click on that, we'll go to the link that we entered. Okay. So here's our subheading, and we probably actually want to add a space because it's kind of close, so we want to put some space between the paragraph above it, and I will show you how to do that. And since we don't have any other post in this Parlor category, this will not show up here. But once we add some posts to that category, to the Parlor category, which is the same category as this post we just wrote, they will show up here as well. And I believe the number that I've set for this is 3. So you only have the first 3 most recent posts after the one that they're on set up here. Okay, so now that we've checked this out, let's go back and let's add some spacing. Okay, so the easiest way to do that, just add a new block, and you can do paragraph block, and let's preview it. Okay, so here's our preview, and let's check out the spacing. So as you can see, it put a little bit more spacing in between the text above and the text below, but I still think it's a little too close. So let's add some more. Okay, so let's add another text block, and we'll just add another paragraph to get some more spacing in there. So let's preview it. Okay, here we go. Let's check it out. Okay, so it's just a little bit more space, and I like that spacing a lot better between the two. So let's go back, and you're going to see it says Enable Visual Builder here. If you click on that, again, it's going to override everything on this page. So it's going to want you to build a page from scratch. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's publish this bad boy. So visibility is public immediately. They're saying add tags. You can add tags at any other time. You can also change the category. You can change the date. You can always go back. So publishing does not set it in stone. You can still edit it. You can still make changes, but it is live. So if you're posting to social media or anything like that, copy the link here, or we can just view post. Okay, there is our post. So let's go back. All right, I want to log out so that I want to see what this looks like without being logged in. Okay, so here is the newest post. So that's the first image we're going to see. And here's the excerpt. So again, if you want to add a custom excerpt, you can in that box I showed you, or it'll just pull in the first few sentences here. So that's in the Parlor category. So let's go check that out. So there it is. So we can click on it to read more. But I want to show you something. So we had talked about making your pictures the right size. And I want to show you. Okay, so this one, the picture is 1280 pixels horizontal and 720 vertical. So that fits in there very nicely. But this one is a little bit longer than the 720 pixels. So it's off-centered. As you can see, it's not centered under the title like the other ones are. And it's a little bit long. So I would highly recommend, you could probably go a little bit beyond that 720 vertical, but I wouldn't recommend going too much beyond that size. Okay, so we're gonna log back in because these were posts that I just had created so I can see how things looked as I'm building the website. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to delete them. Okay, so let's go to our post settings. And so we want to delete this one. That's one of my dummy posts. Just hit trash. Okay, and we want to delete this one as well. Okay, so this is one that we've previously posted. So let's just go to edit so that you can see that. Return to default editor, because I was testing out the Divi builder. So let's return to default, and there it is. Okay, so you can see we have all these links in here. We have all sorts of good stuff going on in here. So if I were to make changes to this, because this is already posted, so you can see I can make changes. I can change just the publishing date over here, and I would make the changes and then just hit update. All right, let's preview it. Okay, so here is our newly updated sort of post. Okay, so a couple of quick things. If you are not seeing a post you just updated or anything like that, hit delete cache, because sometimes what happens is you have things on the server and so the cache is just not updating, or you need to clear the cache so your website will update. So go ahead, if you're having issues with your website updating, just delete the cache and it should update. Okay, let's go. I'm going to show you now if you want to add a new category. You can come here and you can add a category here, and it'll show up in your post in that section alongside. Let's just look at that real quick. So if you add a new category, it will show up on your list here. There we go. It'll show up here, or you can add your new category from here as well. It will not show up automatically on your home page in the menu or anything like that. You would have to add that yourself. You can add a new category by coming to Appearance and Menus. Okay, these are all of your menu items. So you would come to Categories, just hit View All. If you wanted to add it, you would just check it and hit Add to Menu. So there it is, and then you would hit Save Menu, but since we don't want uncategorized on the menu, we're going to remove it. So if you need to remove a category, that's how you would do it as well. So save the menu first. Okay, so our menu saved, so let's go to the pages, because on our home page we had category blocks as well, and we're going to edit with Divi. That's what we want to select. So on posts, you want to use the default builder. For your pages, we use the Divi builder. And so if you wanted to add a category here, it will not automatically add it. You'll have to change it yourself. So that's a little more complicated, so we're not going to get into that here. If you want to change the images in this section, you would click the gear icon. Then you would click background, and there's your image. So you would trash this image or click the icon. It's going to take you to the media library, and you would select a different image. So, but since we want to leave that image, we won't change it. And we're just going to click the check mark and hit OK. Alright, so that is it for our tutorial on how to add a post to your Divi website when it's using the Divi theme builder post template. So I am so glad you joined me today. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos on how to build a website without CSS. And to keep up with more great content on being a momtrepreneur, check out the website at lifeinbox.blog. And we'll see you again soon.